And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello there, my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek. Hey, today we are all together going to be building up a city. We're going to be zoning for different areas like commercial and residential and parks and recreation. And then we're going to be building buildings on top of it, constructing. Oh, it's awesome. This beauty of a game, Sunrise City. Whoa, another one from Game Salute. Similar to Nothing Personal, gamers skip the gym. This thing is heavy. It's like 7 pounds. Woo! Wait till you see the components in this thing. Let's check it out. Building the city, Sunrise City. Show you how it's played. We'll see you on the other side. In Sunrise City, you're trying to be the best city builder by constantly scoring points, getting up to the star, getting a star, and starting over and over again, and trying to get the most stars. So let's talk about how the game works. The game's played over 3 rounds, and each round has phases. We have preparation phase, zoning, bidding, and construction. Let's start with the preparation. In preparation, each person is going to get 4 zoning tiles. You're going to get 4 building tiles. By the way, these are the thickest tiles I've ever seen in a game. My gosh, what great quality these things are. They're unbelievable. And at the beginning of the game, through drafting, you've ended up with 3 different roll cards, 1 for each round. And essentially, you select which one you want to play, and you'll play it face down, waiting for other people. That's preparation phase. As that phase is ending, everybody flips over their card, and we look at the number. And the lowest number is the first player for that round. Don't worry about the special ability. We'll talk about some of those later. So each card comes with a special ability and a number. The numbers range from 1 to 31. The lowest one's the first player for that round. Now you only get 4 of these per round, but I want to show you that there's 5 different types of zoning. We have red, which is residential, for a little house icon. We have green, which is parks and recreation, notated by a little palm tree icon. We have a industrial, which is located by a little wrench icon, and it's yellow. We have a blue, which is commercial. And we have purple, which is multi-use with a question mark. Sometimes blue and purple can get easily mixed up, but when they're next to each other, it's not so bad. When it's one-on-one, you might have to look at the logo, whether it's a question mark or not. So those are the 5 different types of zoning tiles. You would have 4 random ones of these at the beginning of each phase. So here's the start tile, and starting with the first player, they're going to play a zoning tile. Now, the only thing that has to happen here is at least one sidewalk has to connect to another sidewalk. So here we go. I threw down a blue one. And now it's the next player's turn, and let's say they put down a green one, and let's say the next player puts down another green one. Now, this is called a district. Anytime there's one color adjacent to another zoning, this is a district, and this person would get 1 point. They'd immediately notate it on the board that they have 1. Now the zoning phase is over because all the tiles are out there, and now it's the bidding phase. And in player order, one at a time, what they're going to do is take one of their bidding icons and bid on a zoning place. So let's say the blue player bids 1 chip here. Now they can only, later on in the construction phase, you're only going to be able to build on the ground floor. See, this is the ground floor. You're only able to build on spots that you have at least 1 bidding chip that has won the bid on one of those zonings. So you're sort of bidding on the spot to be able to build there. So let's say the red player's next and he builds 1 here. Let's say the green player goes, I want to build there. And so now these two are sort of fighting over. So the blue goes, nope. And red goes, okay, you guys can fight over that. I'll fight over this. And the green guy goes, I really want this. And the blue guy's like, fine, I'm going to stop fighting for it. I'm going to go fight over here, and then the red guy maybe goes here, and the green guy maybe goes here, here. If you have 2 in a row, boom, boom, automatically this bid is closed. So let's say the blue player now goes here. Now this bid's closed because he did boom, boom, 2 in a row. So this one's closed and this one's closed. Let's say red bids here, blue bids here, green, red, blue, green, red. Let's say it ends up like that. So that would be the end of the bidding phase, and now we go into the construction phase where you can only bid where you have at least 1 of the winning bids that's on the top. So now we go on to the construction phase. Now remember, every person has 4 of these sort of building tiles that they've been given. And as what they were zoning and bidding, they were obviously looking at these tiles beforehand and strategizing as to which places they had zones over and things like that. So when they're done here, I've reduced it down so that the top bid is just, the winning bid is just there, all the other ones are taken out. And we start with the first player again, it's blue. Now, blue has this tile. This tile has a 5 in the middle, a 4 and a 1, and it has a green and a red. Now, when you build on the ground floor, when you build across, you have to build across sidewalks. I could not build across here because there's a waterway here and you can't build over water. So I have this tile here and blue has won a bid here. So blue can play this tile right over here because he has a bid, green over green, red over red, and it's a bottom level and there's a sidewalk so they can build here. Now keep in mind there's blue and green here. So what's going to happen is the person that placed it, blue, is going to get 5 points. They're also going to get the 4-point bonus for winning the bid here. So he's going to get a total of 9 points. Green's going to get a total of 1 point even though he didn't do anything but just bid there. Now green got 1 point, so he goes up to 2. Now this is huge. The blue player got 9 points, which is the perfect move here because he goes up 9, which puts him right on top of the star. When you get on top of the star, you get to take 2 of them. If you go over the star and wrap around, you only get to take 1. So it's like scoring 2 rounds in 1. So one of the main aspects of this is trying to strategize to be able to nail it right on there. And once he's taken his double star, he just comes down to just below the board to 0 again. Now let's assume it's red's turn. They have bid here, and they have a red and a purple. Now I have this tile. It has red and green. But remember, purple is wild. You can put anything on top of purple, and you can put purple on top of anything. So here we go. We have a green and a red. We have red and purple. Purple's wild. So, and they had the bonus marker on this. So they're going to get 5 and 1 and 6. So red would get 6 points on the score track. Now let's say the next player has this tile. See, we have red on red and we have purple on green. Remember, purple is wild, can go on anything. So the next player can play this. Now keep in mind, since it's no longer the ground floor, nobody has any bids on anything up here, so anybody could have placed this tile. And when you place it, there's no bonuses because there's no bidding. It's not on the ground floor where the zoning is. They're just going to get the 2 points, but they're able to place this tile. Now, this is an even floor. We have floor 1, floor 2. An even floor gets one of these markers because what happens is as tiles get built on top of here, you're going to get some bonus points. So if the next person played something like this where it's red all the way through, red and purple, hey, purple can be anything, so you can put red over purple. This part goes here. This marker is to tell you that this is an even floor. Every odd floor is going to get you an extra bonus point. So we go over here, and we go here. That's an odd floor. It's floor number 3. We're going to get 2 points, plus we're going to get some bonuses. So for the 3rd floor, you get 1 point. For the next odd floor, which is the 5th floor, you get 2 points. So every odd floor above that, you're getting an additional point. So 3rd floor is 1, 5th floor is 2, 7th floor is 3, 9th floor is 4 points, and so on and so forth. So the taller it gets on odd floors, the more extra bonus points you're getting. Now this phase goes on until everybody's played their tiles. If for some reason there's no legal move that you can make with your tiles, you basically have to show everybody you can't make a move and it goes to the next player. And hopefully you can play it on a subsequent turn. If not, essentially you just can't do it and the round's over. This is what the end of the round might look like after the first construction phase. Now that round would end. We'd start with the preparation phase where everybody has 2 row cards to choose from. Again, we put them face down until everybody's done. You'd flip it up and we'd see who would go first that round, whoever has the lowest number. I want to show you just a handful of small of these roll cards. Remember, they go from 1 to 31. County Supervisor. During the zoning phase, when the district points are awarded to any other player, you also receive equal number of points. Cool. The Engineer, number 9. At the start of the construction phase, take 1 fully exposed building tile off the city, add it to your hand, and play it as an extra building. That's huge because you can take it off and replay it where it is if it's there when it's your turn. The Realtor, number 29. At the start of the construction phase, declare a building type, score 1 point for each matching building segment added to the city by any player. Huge. Anytime people are doing that, you're getting some points. Number 19, the Mayor. During bidding phase, you may bid on zones where bidding stack has been closed by a double bid. Ooh. That's awesome. Someone thinks they have it, you snatch it out from under them. The number 1 card. Meeple are people too. I love that. The Protester. At the end of the zoning phase, place a Protester meeple on an undeveloped zoning tile. No one may bid for this build or bid for this zone on that round. Really cool. It comes with a little zoning, little meeple there to put on there. Pretty cool tiles. Pretty cool rolls, and there's many of them that come with the game. Now the second and third rounds played a little bit differently, where in the zoning, the person who goes first gets to say which direction it's going. On this home tile, we have north, south, east, and west. And they get to choose which direction that the zoning is going to happen in. This sort of focuses the building. So let's say they choose north. That means every zoning tile has to be placed north of this building or on this side. So another thing to note is that these zoning from the first floors, they change. The zoning changes as buildings get built on them. So even though this started, this was red and purple, this is now red and red. Now someone has to play it north. So let's say someone played one of the district tiles. Oh, they can't, there's water there. But if there was a sidewalk here and this was placed here, this counts as a district because this is now a zoning red and this is zoning red, and that would be a district point. One last thing to show you in the zoning tiles is here. These are what we call community tiles. They aren't zoning opening grounds, they actually have buildings on them. This is a yellow zoning tile. And what this means is if someone places one of those, they get to draw a new zoning tile and place it until they have a regular zoning tile, not a community tile. The way this works is that if anybody builds any building that has yellow on it, and they place it on here, so let's say this building was like this, and during the construction phase, if they build a building that is next to its color community tile, they would get an additional point. So sometimes that will change things too. So essentially that's the way it works. You play through 3 full rounds of this. The one who has the most points at the end is the winner. All right, first of all, Sunrise City. Wow, components, holy thickness, Batman. Now, I recently reviewed Nothing Personal and was raving about the components out of the game. These are amazing as well. Holy crap. Oh man, those tiles just feel so thick. Everything's produced hugely. So, absolutely amazing components. Now the gameplay, wow. I love this game. It's awesome. I'd say it's a step above a gateway game. I wouldn't necessarily play this for people that haven't played games because there's really a lot to think about. But you know, in its sense, I would love to get some beginner gamers into this because I think this would be a step or two, a step and a half beyond a Ticket to Ride where there's some complexity, but yet it's still, everything sort of makes sense. I love the different phases. The roll cards are awesome. The drafting mechanic to select your rolls is cool. The things that the different rolls do are cool. And how, you know, the more powerful ones are higher numbers, but the less powerful ones, maybe they allow you to go first, possibly. And, you know, that mechanic of scoring right on the star, that's really the key to winning this game, is trying to brain burner and think about what can I do to get myself on that star. Now, some of those rolls, you know, you gain points when other people do things, so it can be, you have like this moving target where you're not really sure where you'll be when it's your turn. And that makes it harder, actually, but you'll get more points. Or you can go with one of those rolls where you're not scoring points from other people, but you know how many points you can probably score in your next turn. And you can be more deliberate about planning ahead, figuring out which tiles or which zoning you want to bid on, to plan ahead to get on that star to get 2 stars, because that's really the key. If the person that lands on that the most is going to win the game, and it's always a super close game. We're always within 1, 2, or possibly 3 stars at most between the people. It's very close, so landing on those stars is huge, and I love how it takes a lot of forethought and a lot of planning to execute your plan to do that. And the boards are always moving, and just building things are fun, and playing with those thick tiles. Just the different aspects of the game, you know, even the little things like, hey, the second and third round, the zoning goes in one direction, which makes everybody focused. And the bidding, I like the bidding as well. It was really cool. You're fighting over areas and you're trying to plan where you're going. And just everything about this game to me was awesome, from components to playing to, I didn't have any complaints about this game. I wish I could find something, but I really couldn't. We loved it, and this is something I'm going to be playing for a long time. This is going to be a staple. This is one of my top favorite games that I have in my collection now. You've got to check out Sunrise City. It's just a pleasure to play. It gives you a lot to think about, and is just very fun.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.